Okay, the Lions have back-to-back victories. That's a winning streak, and we're excited about it here at Sports Talk Detroit. And what we had a major takeaway of on this one is that our young stars led the way to victory again. And
Mm.
I would say, Chris, even more so in this game than they did last week against the Packers. I think they played even better. And so I'm going to name some of these guys, and then I want you to tell me who you felt was the most impactful player out of this bunch. You had Penei Sewell played well at
Mhm.
right tackle. I wouldn't say it's his best game, but he played well. St. Brown had a huge game. Hutchinson and Okudah all played well. And I know I'm missing people, but the reason I chose these guys is this has kind of been the big four: 3 early round picks, and then St. Brown, who's proven himself. So who do you think out of those guys, or you can throw a wild card at me, do you think was the biggest key to victory in this game?
I loved St. Brown.
You
Just
love St.
just
Brown?
from the
Yeah.
man, he's good. He's so good. He's so steady. He's so strong. And you're so right. Like when you can see these guys absolutely or actually going out and being contributors and winning games, it's all of a sudden like, okay, this is you can just see it. And we haven't had any like clear direction to the future
Sure.
in a while, with
Mhm.
Patricia, but all of a sudden we've been watching it closely. Holmes is bringing these guys in, and to see Hutch, Akuda, it's
Yeah.
just it feels good to see. But St. Brown, a true player, a true just mismatch, and a guy that helps you week in and week out when he's in.
Yeah, and
Oh
I
yeah, right
think
there.
2 things on St. Brown. Right there, I got the highlights, or I got the stats. Do you think 10 catches on 11 targets for 119 yards is a good game?
Exactly.
But by the way, that takes good quarterback play as well.
Yep.
Jared Goff, like, to hit him 10 out of 11, that's massive. And to tell you how big he was, he had Jared Goff. I don't know if you noticed this. In the fourth quarter, we're having that drive. He kind of got his ankle rolled up on the sideline there, and they panned to Jared Goff, and he's over there looking
Yes.
at St. Brown, and all he's doing is like, get up, get up, get up. Like from 30
Please.
yards away, 20 yards away, he's like, I need you. Like, you can tell. He was just like, I need you on this field. But I'm gonna go with somebody else because I thought St. Brown was huge, especially in the first half. But my guy, my big player is right here, Aiden Hutchinson.
Mm.
Um, 8 tackles for a defensive lineman, a sack, and a TFL, a tackle for loss. So you're looking at this guy, and all of a sudden you're realizing that he's starting to. You said it in a previous video. He's really starting to understand the game. He's starting to do what he did at Michigan, which is find a way to affect the game in more ways than just a pass rush. And I don't want to steal your thunder here because, like I said, you've said
No.
this in a different video, but his ability to recognize a screen pass, his ability to play the run that well, 8 tackles. Are you kidding me? For a defensive end, some of the plays he made in the run game were unbelievable. He was, by all accounts, somehow our best run defender in this game.
Yeah.
And like, he played a part in the interception that Okudah got by recognizing the screen. He had a sack on the final drive of the game, which, by the way, he leads all rookies in sacks. They said that. So unless they were wrong on the TV broadcast. So I think a lot of people have been talking about, is Hutchinson a bust? 8 tackles, great recognition, 5.5 sacks on the season in 9 games, on pace to get close to 10 as a rookie. I think if I told you going into this year, if he had 9 or 10 sacks as a rookie, you'd be like, yep, thank you. All right. He's only
Absolutely.
going to get better from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And dude, that's you break up a good point here. I think the key to this whole game that's just overlooked was, yes, we gave up a lot of rushing yards, but at the end of the day, those zone
A
reads,
lot.
yeah, those zone reads where they actually gave the ball to the running back, we
Mhm.
did a pretty good job there. So if
There
that
was there was a statement. There was a point in the third quarter where we did not, but other than that, yes, we held in
yes,
pretty well. Yes,
and
you
but
are
there
right.
was most of those runs that they're kind of counting on you to be focused on fields, focused on fields. We
Correct.
we were able to stay in the fight there because if you're getting gashed there, now you're getting gashed, game over. But we just stayed in there enough. And then of course, I mean the pick six is what the defense really was absolutely huge. But
Yep.
that's what that stat showed me right there was Hutchinson was in there. I mean, that think of you're a defensive end, rookie defensive end going against this offense. That's just tough. But man,
It's
we
tough.
we played well and we stayed in there. We gave up 30 points, but it felt more. Yeah, there was a little stretch there where things got loose, but it
Yep.
felt, man, we're hanging in there, making plays. And again, hey, Bears, thank you, but hey, this is what good teams do. Bears made a lot of mistakes, a ton of penalties in crucial
Guess who
spots.
didn't?
Thank you. We didn't
Yes.
execute it. Yep.
That was huge, and I was thinking about it even that in the first half because it didn't take long for me to realize like we were outgunned on the offensive side of things with our lack of wide receivers. It
Yep.
was basically St. Brown or bust. And like I knew real quickly we were going to struggle. So when the Bears kept racking up penalties, and we didn't. I'm like, thank you. Like, just play good, smart football. Don't commit penalties, and you're going to stay in this game. And guess what? The one time the Bears, that third quarter, they didn't get penalties and they beat us 14-0.
Yep.
And then they started getting penalties again in the fourth quarter, and we came back and won. And
Ah,
so it's just one of those things where it's like, you don't, those are I know where this was young talent shines, but like the penalties
mm.
were absolutely massive. Can you want to talk to us a little bit about Okudah
Oh
and
man.
just kind of what you saw from him this game and this season, Chris?
Yeah, Okuda is somebody that you and I have, and everybody, all Lions fans, number 3 overall pick,
Hmm.
need you to be
Yeah.
a guy. And so he's come in and slowly gotten better and better and better and better. And he's tough. He likes to get in the run game. He had good coverage today. He's
Hmm.
evolved. You know, Owarie, for example.
Oh,
Um, where he at?
oh,
You know, you just don't see him. You don't see him in the run
he's
game.
not
No. And hey, I would
trying
almost
really
be,
hard not to get paid.
yeah, I'd be okay with Okudah almost being like him, being a general starter. But Okudah is
Yeah.
really rising his game. And just to I just it just was a good feeling to see him more than anything, just because you followed the team and
Hmm.
he had just a rough couple years. So
I
that's
know.
what was cool to see. Just I mean, a morale booster like no other, just for our team, our franchise. It's just the whole thing. I mean, that whole Jeff Okudah pick six to win a game on the road, it just felt really good.
It felt really good. And then the last guy, and I will say with Okuda on that, like it's
Yeah.
so much fun just to watch him get the pick six against his college teammate,
Mm.
and be like, "What's up?" And then the very like almost next play, you have him unable to catch Fields. It's just like,
Oh my
dang
God.
it, you know, it's like
I
so
mean,
close.
get him,
Who's the
get
big
him.
number one? Okuda's like, no, I'm big number one. And then there goes Fields, and you're like, oh no, this is it. This is how we lose. But it's not how we lost. And I think the other guy, there was something that was said, and we haven't talked about Sewell much because he's an
Mm.
offensive lineman. It's not sexy to talk about offensive linemen, right? And so early in the game, you're listening to the announcing, and Goff said to them this week that he believes Penei Sewell is the best right tackle in the game today. Like he's already the best in year two. Now, that comes with a little bit of a caveat for me. It's like, okay, Jared Goff, if you know he's the best right tackle in the game, step up in the pocket.
Yes.
Like, and again, it went back to Goff, unwilling to step up in the pocket. Announcers are even noticing. I think he thought, Goff would step up a little bit in the pocket there. Like the pocket was wide open. Nobody's worried about Goff running. Like, step up, man. But other than that, I thought he did play. I thought he did play well,
Yep.
but I thought Sewell was once again just kind of that steady presence that you need on the right side. It wasn't his best game, but even with it not being his best game, he still played well.
Absolutely. I watch him I don't know how many plays, but I'll just be like, it just comes to my mind. I'm going to key on Sewell.
Yes.
It's
Yep.
just so solid. I mean,
Yeah.
he looks,
He's
he
physically
doesn't,
dominant.
yeah. And it's great to see. And again, we just kind of go back to if our young players can show some signs and that goes to a victory,
Yeah.
man, it's huge for our franchise. Because yeah, they've been showing flashes, but when you ultimately lose, it's hard to get excited. It's hard to
It's hard.
see it. But when you put some wins together, that's when it just feels better, looks better. The whole thing is just going better.
So you ready for something somebody told me?
Hit me.
And it was my father actually,
Oh,
and he's he loves the Lions and all that kind of stuff, but he's not been sports guy. He said something that I thought was really interesting. He said, "Love seeing the young players." This was last week. He said, "Love seeing the young players play well I think some of the older players are caught in a losing culture and don't realize it.
Mm.
And I'm just like, interesting thought, right? But it's nice to see. That's why the wins right now are still important, because we need to win some of these games so that the culture starts to shift for these younger players. And seeing them make the plays,
Mhm.
Chris, it's huge, man. Like,
Yeah.
not just not screw up, but make plays to win.
Yes,
Like,
because
that's the difference. Like, they won because of the young players. They didn't not lose.
oh,
If that
and
makes sense.
the losing, it's a real thing. I guess I'm really on board with it now. I just thought, well, we had a bad break here, but when you lose and you're constantly losing, it's hard to win because
Mhm.
you just don't want to give. It's almost like you don't want to give yourself fully to it just so you don't
Yep.
get hurt as much, because
Yeah.
I don't want to get hurt. But when
I
you
don't want to get
win,
hurt.
it's like we're gonna win. Like,
But that's okay, because how hurt can we get still this year? We're not going to make the playoffs,
right.
right? It's not like we're going to win. It's not like we're going to go 10-7. Like, we play
Right.
the Bills on Thanksgiving. There's our loss, right?
Yeah.
Like, we still have to play the Vikings. We still, like, we're not going to close out the season 7-1. We're in too big of a hole.
Right.
So, like, we're not going to get our hopes up. Like, let's just understand, like, 5 wins, fine. 6 wins, good. 7 wins, fantastic.
Yeah.
Don't get your hopes up. Just, we'll be able to get a couple more in here.
Absolutely. We're in a good spot. We needed
We're in a good
this.
spot.
We
Mhm.
if we lose next, it's just, but it doesn't matter. We
It doesn't
won
matter.
2 in a row. In your last 2
It
games, we're
matters a
2-0.
little.
And yeah, it's just like we're playing good enough. And then yeah,
Good enough.
we've played 2 teams that, let's face it, made mistakes. We're not
Mhm.
good enough to beat a team if they don't hurt themselves and just,
Yes.
you know what I mean? But
We're not there yet.
no, but that's part of winning is, yeah, the other
We're
team's
close.
messing up. Can you capitalize? Can you?
Mhm.
Because when we mess up, man, teams capitalize on us like it's nothing. So can you
Yeah.
do it? And we are. So it's
Absolutely.
great.
And
Yeah.
we are. And we are. And we're overcoming some of our own screw ups too. So,
Mhm.
hey, good W. Great seeing the young guys play well. That's it for this one. Hit that subscribe button below. Hey, keep watching. Go Lions. It's always more fun after a victory.